Hi, welcome to the GF channel. Today I'm going to finish something I have started probably 2 years back, and that's the seatbelt indicator. Many of you are trying to get rid of it on modern cars, but I believe in laws of physics and I believe everyone should wear his seatbelt. That's why I actually wanted to add this, and not only for the driver's side, but for every seat. And other seats have issues, and that's why I stopped the project. The driver's side, as you can see, it works. You probably even saw it in some other videos. So driver's side is simple, no electronics are needed, but for the rest there are problems. For instance, this one has a built-in weight sensor because of the airbag, not to trigger airbag in case of a crash if there's nobody sitting here. So there is one, but you cannot use it. It's connected via some protocol to the airbag module, and it's just impossible to use. Probably not impossible, but not easy. And for the rear, there are absolutely no weight sensors. So I bought weight sensors. I installed them in the rear, but they were so easy to trigger that even this multimeter, if I place it there, is just triggering the weight sensor. That's not good. I don't want to do that. So I stopped the project. And today I'm actually reviving it because I read the manual of how newer Mazda vehicles do it, in the rear anyhow, without any weight sensor. So no weight sensor, pure software, and it works for the rear. Now I'm going to do the same for the front seat as well. I'm going to include it into the software calculations, which are going to be flashed on this Arduino, and we're going to get this one running. So for that one, as you can see, there will be a need of Arduino. I'm thinking to place it right here. I like the spot. Let me turn on the torch. I like the spot. I tried reusing this old box of mine. Seemed like a good solution. Fits perfectly here, and when you close it with that one, it closes beautifully. Now I'm not going to close it because with opening it with one hand it's hard. Come on, focus. But nonetheless, this fits perfectly, though the box is not tall enough and it won't fit the Arduino. See, when you do with the hat, so without the hat everything is fine, but with the hat, not good. So I'm probably just going to design and 3D print my own box. But the spot, I like the spot because the spot is easy to access to reflash, also close to here, close to here, close to the rear, and I'm going to also use the signal for parking brake, not to beep me if I'm in the garage and I'm just on ignition and not wearing the seatbelt. I don't want it to beep. So I'm going to also use the handbrake signal into the calculations. Not required, but I'm going to use it anyhow. So links are in the description. For the manual, currently how it's working actually, the wire which you're going to need is this one. That's the black wire right here, which is the second on the back row, the second. That wire pass ground to it, and while ignition is on, come on, focus. While the ignition is on, this is going to lead. Currently that wire goes like that, down here, goes beneath the seat, goes inside of the buckle, and then from the buckle I actually have another cable that goes to a point right there, which grabs ground, which was not optimal. There is good points here to grab the ground from, and that's what I'm actually going to do this time. But nonetheless, this is how it's working currently. Only ground. Grab it from the from ground, pass it through here, because this works in reverse. When you plug in something, it disconnects the ground. When you remove it, the ground continues down the cable and goes to the instrument cluster where it gets lit. Okay, enough of me talking. Let me show you how I actually got this indicator here, and how I installed all of these, and at the back as well. These are all with sensors, and then we are going to do the electronics. Okay, so let me show you how I actually added the indicator right here. Basically what I did is I glued, so this is a double layer currently. I removed the paint from behind, only from behind, so from the front looks good. Only from behind I removed the paint. As you can see, I even scratched here, so I used some tape to remove the scratch, and some more tape to hold the whole thing together. That's the final result. It's a little bit blurrier, just a little bit, but not too much. So this is the original one that I had previously when it was actually black, and as you can see, there's no indicator and there's only one icon here. When you get from a Protege, so from the States, I ordered two of these. This is my second one in case I screw up something. You can see these here, and you can see there is a door ajar indicator. So I have a video for this door ajar indicator, which is no longer here because there is a board computer on that spot. So no longer board computer here. I actually moved it to, actually there is nothing here. Yes, but here there should be, yes. This is the security light. Now that security light is actually also being lit when the door is opened, for which I have another video for, and it's extremely simple to fix. So basically that's how I did it. Use some isopropyl or whatever it's called, alcohol, to clean the back. Just make sure it doesn't go to the front. Clean the back good, then use scissors, cut it, glue it, and it's good to go. That way you do not need to cut those, because these are different. These are the same, only the brake, actually it says brake, but here I have check engine light, and here I have for the fog lights and for the security light, while here there is no such thing on the Protege. No check light, no check engine light, and nothing at the bottom. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this is how I actually made it a while back, and that's why this I tried to paint in silver, but as you can see, when it's here, there are little stuff that actually rub on it, and it's no good. Thankfully now I have leather, and black will be good. So this is how I managed to do that on that side. This is the original one. This is how it looks like on a Mazda 6. I don't know if it's like that or like that though. That's how it looks like. This is usable, this is not usable. So only this one. I will now transfer it to here. Now on the other side will be a little bit more interesting with the center one. There is a difference, so let me show you. Okay, so this is how I originally fitted the 6GG buckles on this side. I don't know how are they originally on the 6, since the guy that took them off gave it to me without the bolt, so no idea how they are originally. But there is something very interesting See that one that says center on it, and currently it's being buckled. No problem. Check this one out. It says center on it. Doesn't want to. The other one that's no center. Come on. Clicks, no problem. This one does. This one does not. This one does not. Now I've modified this one to work. Actually, it's not connected with this. It's actually connected with the way that the 6 has this thing on the center place. My best guess is this is to combat the problem where you can actually place the wrong seat belt into the wrong buckle. So into the center one, nothing else is going to fit into the center one, while the other one will fit only here. That's my best guess. I don't know, but I have modified this one to be able to actually fit a normal regular seat belt. So I will now open up to show you how I modified it and to swap the caps, because well, that crap needs to go anyhow. And you'll see how I modified it and how it works from behind the scenes. To open it, you actually need to pry it from here. Now I did a terrible job prying. As you can see, it's not pretty. I'll try to be better this time, but pry from the bottom, not from the top, from the bottom. Okay, so I have disassembled the center buckle here, and the original, not original, but what I originally have installed and modified. As you can see, this one bolts, this one does not. And take a closer look at that part here. There will be white plastic coming towards it, but never pressing it. And it needs to be pressed so the mechanism locks. See, now it's locked because I pressed it with finger. It actually needs to be pressed by this white plastic, but it does not want to do that. The reason being, on the 6 this is longer, only on the center. On the center this is actually longer and is able to press it. But since we cannot grab this from there, we need to modify it. And the modification is quite simple. You just bend this inwards. I'll release. Don't go. Let's try out this one because it's easier to see. And now, okay, remove the plastic. And now when it goes, oh, that plastic is hard to press. You see now that now it actually hits it, and when I continue pressing it, it snaps. That's what needs to be done to modify this. And I've also figured out if I switch position, so I was using it like that. Come on, focus. I was using this one like that, but when using it like that, there's not enough length, and this seat actually is bent here and it doesn't look good. If I actually turn it like that and everything points in that direction, there is plenty of, not plenty, but more, so it will be better. That's how I'm going to mount the black ones. Okay, final piece of the puzzle. Now this one is very short, very short, and the reason being is this pocket, which you can see right here. When this sits here, this goes into the pocket, so when your seat folds like that, it's not in the way. Now what I have found is way longer, as you can see, way longer, so it needs to bend more outwards, something like that, which goes outside of the pocket. I have smashed it down, so this is again from 6GG facelift, the same as the other one right there, absolutely the same, from the passenger seat of the facelifted GG. So you need two of these. I bought it here, smashed it because it was not that bent. It was a little bit of bending, but not that bent, so a little bit of smashing did the job. Now the problem is I need to cut this thing here. This plastic is in the way because this bending here happens outside of the plastic, actually before the plastic, and the bump is outside. There is a bump that goes up and then in, while the other one that fell goes straight and then bump. So this needs to be cut down with this. And that is how it looks like. There's plenty of space for this to move. It sticks out enough. We'll see when I flip it, will there be any problem, spacing issue here, but I think not, because this is low. It's not one of these big headrests. We have headrest here, so I believe there won't be any space issue, but we'll see. Now if I remove that part, I haven't bolted it yet, you can see the cable, how it goes. So it goes like that from below, and here I've used one of those spots. Yeah, that seat is getting rusty, for the cable, and it's good enough. This when being used, there is no clearance issue anywhere. Okay, let's assemble and see if there are issues with space. Okay, seems good. That's far the furthest in that direction, that's the furthest in that direction. No spacing issues, but it actually looks that something is off. If you have a sharp eye for those things, you're going to figure out it's not made for here, but most people won't. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this is final wiring. You can see below the seat how the cable comes from the buckle. This is the driver's side and goes like that and under the floor mat and continues into here and goes up here. And at the rear, the two sides actually come down again from the service hole for the fuel pump, and you can see the cables, they go like that. That was the hardest bit. I had to remove here the seat, remove the clips, so I can actually pull as much as possible the carpet and pull the cables through. So they go like that towards there. And okay, I showed you earlier the output signal where to connect to make the bulb appear, and here you can see these are from the car stock. These are thick wires for getting ground for the radio, and there is a bolt right here. I unscrewed that bolt and I got my grounds for pretty much everything, both the module ground and the buckle grounds, and that's how I actually connected everything. Okay, that's how it looks like, final result. Sun under the heat, I actually warped it, and because I needed to update a little bit the hardware for the final version, and I needed to use a heat gun, so that's why the text here is burned out. But at least I did try to make it look good. Of course, the 3D model is in the description. It sits like that, quite good. It's easy to access, no tools required, only strength to pull this cap. Like that, you pull here and it gets removed. So how does it work? Well, let me put my seat belt on because I want to show you the main part, the passenger's side. So if I now turn on the ignition, it's all good. I'll remove the handbrake because with handbrake, no beeping. Now, as you can see, I will place this and nothing happens there. Good. But now if I remove it and it starts beeping, the beep comes from here, but it's actually quite audible. Maybe I need to make it louder because with music it's hardly you can hardly hear it with music, and I don't have a powerful music. Now, as you can see, the beep actually continues and increases the frequency. You have 60 seconds for that beep, and after 60 seconds it goes off automatically as well as there. That is only for all the passengers, not for the driver. So each buckle will be like that. Only the driver is endless. For the driver you have another setting. I have made a setting for this one, but I cannot show it to you because it's hard to make it with one hand. Well, the setting is you pull the handbrake, you turn on the ignition, and within the first 30 seconds you need to buckle in and buckle out 20 times. So you need to be quite fast, and I cannot do it with one hand. You do that, and only indicator here it's going to get lit with no audible beep. You do that again and you bring back the beep. That is if you're not happy with the beep. Beep never beeps if this is on. So if now I unbuckle, this will show that someone has unbuckled. It's not only for the driver, it's for everyone, but it's not beeping because this is up. If I bring it back down, then it actually shows it, because it's the driver. Now if I do the same with this one, so I place it in, I remove it, it shows that someone has removed the seat belt. But if I now release the handbrake, it's not going to beep because this is one of the triggers. If you drop off someone and he just removes his seat belt, you don't want 60 seconds to have a beep. That's why I have this as a trigger. You just do that and it's good. Same goes for this one. If you do this, it beeps. You can stop the beeping by removing your seat belt and placing it back in, and the beep stops. And there's one final feature, which is to show the version which you're running. In order to do that, this needs to be off and this needs to be on. So put your seatbelt, this needs to be on. Turn on the ignition and just start pumping it and until it beeps and blinks like that. You see, one long beep. This means version 1.0. If there was a short beep after the long beep, it's going to be the minor version. So if it's 1.1, then it's going to be one long and one short. Okay, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe. I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye bye.